Hello, this video is brought to you by the Minnetonka Coalition for Equitable Education, or the M.C.E.E. Today's discussion will feature racial autobiography and how the education system can contribute to how each person constructs the idea of race. Today's racial autobiography resource was created and produced by the Pacific Education Group, which promotes their technique of Courage Conversations. Courage Conversation is an award-winning protocol for effectively engaging, sustaining, and deepening interracial dialogue. We recommend checking out the Pacific Education Group and the programs they offer. We will be examining race through each level of life, including family, neighborhood, and different tiers at school. We will be sharing personal accounts to help guide how to construct a racial autobiography. Family. The biggest questions to ask regarding how your family can affect race are on the left. Hi, so actually I am Black and my mom is white. My mom never talked to me about race, so everything I've learned about it was through my own experience. I do wish she would have, because I had to learn those experiences the hard way. I knew I was treated differently, but I never really knew why until later on in my life. You may ask how I know it was race and not something else, and it's because everything would change once my mom or white friends were around. I describe myself as Black, but my ethnicity is African American. And that's actually a really good question. I think it is a powerful thing because it offers a new perspective and experiences that only a minority of the population faces. I am proud of my ancestors and everything they have done to give me the rights I have today. Has it been challenging? Well, yes, 100%. But now after years of people trying to make me hate myself, I can finally say I am proud to be Black.
The next part of our racial autobiography will be the neighborhood. Here are the questions on the left. Hi. So when I was very little, I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood. At 4 years old, I had my first experience of race when my babysitter took me to her church. I was definitely scared at first, as I was a white child suddenly surrounded by a room full of people who didn't look like me, specifically Black people. However, eventually the fear ebbed away as I began Sunday school with the other kids and realized there wasn't much difference between us. It was a great experience, and I remember telling my mom how much fun I had and how much I wanted to go back. In terms of hearing my first racial slur, I was 6 years old. At this time, my older siblings were in middle school and high school. They would say racial jokes under their breath at home. I remember listening to these conversations and my siblings repeatedly telling me, "Don't repeat this at school." I was confused. Why would a joke be acceptable at home but not at school? This experience of racial slurs made me realize that racism and racist behavior was frowned upon but still acceptable in different white circles. Since growing up, I have rejected that notion. Racism is never okay, and it should never be acceptable in white circles. Now let's turn our attention to the education system. Here are some basic questions to the left. These questions can be applied to elementary, middle, and high schools. The education system matters because of representation and exposure. As someone of color, seeing yourself in adult role models in the curriculum which is taught can reaffirm your identity. As someone who is white, seeing and interacting with people from a distinct race can decrease negative stereotypes and implicit bias. It's called the contact hypothesis. The more contact you have with someone from a racial group, the less likely you are to associate that race with negative qualities. So ask yourself this: what was the racial makeup of your high school? Did you have a lot of contact with different people of distinct race? Was your identity within the curriculum or not? And did you have adult role models that look like you?
How does this apply to Minnetonka? Teachers and staff members, especially district leaders, need to evaluate their own racial autobiography. Understanding your own experiences is the first step in order to understand someone else's, especially a student of color. Those in charge of curriculum really need to critically look at how they are teaching subjects concerning race. What kind of message may you be sending? Who are you talking about? What kind of culture is at the school? Do people of race only hang out with each other? Why is there no integration? A lack of integration is the first sign students of color don't necessarily feel welcome, are subject to bullying, or racial slurs are used in the school they attend. Thank you for watching today's video. Be sure to follow the M.C.E.E. on our social media.